Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time, in my opinion, is a very crazy one that I can't believe I haven't told yet. Today's one of those story times where if you think about yourself in this situation, you're like, damn, that would not be fun in the slightest. I hope that never happens to me. So yeah, let's jump right into today's story time. So today's story time is about the time that police dogs searched me in school. Not my locker. I've told that story time already. But this was a whole different thing where I walked into school and I'm just going to tell the story, okay? I'm not going to spoil too much right away. So today's story time takes place in the last year of me being at high school. It was my final year at high school before I left and went to pursue YouTube. So, I was just kind of trying to get through the year, trying to pass my classes, trying to do as good as I could do, but I wasn't really doing that well, right? So my principal and the staff at the school kind of had their eye on me, and so did my teachers, because I wasn't doing that well. And the thing about my school, my high school to be specific, is my school would bring in dogs. Not just any kind of dogs. I'm not talking about, Yorkies and, little puppies. They don't bring in those. They bring in German Shepherd police dogs and the police at least like once a month to do random searches on people's lockers because too many people at my school would bring weed and stuff in and just leave it in their backpacks, and my school didn't like that very much. So they would bring in police and police dogs, and every time they would do that, I would get nervous. I wouldn't even be bringing stuff to school. I would just be nervous. So anyway, one day, I get up early in the morning as usual, way too fucking early. I'm really tired. I get up, get ready for my day. I get on my bus. I go to school. I walk into school. I go to my locker. And I'm just standing there, getting my books out of my locker, getting ready for my long, annoying day at school. And one of my friends walks up to me, and he's like, "Yo, you kind of smell like weed." I was like, "What? No, I don't." And at this point, I didn't even smoke. So I'm so confused as to why I would smell like that to him. I'm like, "Bro, it's probably you. You probably smoked this morning." He's like, "Nah, man, I didn't. You smell like weed. Your locker or something." So at this point, I get paranoid, right? I start going through my things. I'm searching my locker, up and down, trying to find something. There's nothing in there that could smell like that. And then I pull open my backpack and start going through that. And as I'm going through it, I start smelling it. And I'm like, "What the hell? I do smell like weed. What is that?" And I'm going through my whole backpack, and I can't find anything. There's nothing in there that I can really see that's causing that smell. So I'm just confused, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm overthinking this. I don't even smoke anymore. I'm good. I must have just walked by somebody that was smoking or something on the way in, and that's why I smell like that. I'm fine. So I put my backpack in my locker, I close my locker, and I go about my day, right? So fast forward, later that day, I'm at lunch. I'm eating at my table. I'm with my friends, and one of my friends looks at me, and he goes, "Yo, you didn't bring anything to school today, did you?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" He goes, anything that could get you in trouble with the police." I'm like, "No, man, why would I?" He's like, "Hey, man, I was looking out for all my friends today. I heard they're bringing in the police dogs today for a random search." And I'm like, "Oh, shit, well, thanks for the heads up." He's like, "Yeah, man, no problem." So after lunch, I go to my locker, and I grab my backpack out of my locker because I'm paranoid, right? Because it still smells like weed, and I don't know why. Couldn't figure it out. So yeah, I grabbed my backpack, grabbed it out of my locker, went to my next class, and that's what I thought was the end of it. I'm like, now if they bring the dogs around the lockers, they won't smell mine because it's not in there anymore, so there's nothing to smell, right? Yeah, wrong. So I'm in class, and the announcement comes on that everyone needs to stay in their classrooms because they're doing the dog search thing. And I'm sitting in class, minding my own business. I'm real calm. I'm real relaxed. I'm all good, right? And then fast forward 15 minutes later, the search was over. My school came on the announcements and said, everyone can move about freely now. Everyone's all good. And I thought that would be the end of it, right? Well, then my teacher gets a phone call on her school phone saying I need to go to the office immediately. And I'm freaking out, right? Because what other reason would I have to go to the office other than one of those police dogs sniff my locker and there's something in it, and now I need to go up there and talk to my principal and the police about whatever they found. So I walk up to the main office, and I open the door to the main office, waiting room area, and I walk in, and immediately upon walking in, there's a police officer and a police dog just standing there in the main office, signing some paperwork or something. I don't know what they were doing at the desk, but the dog looks at me, and he makes eye contact with me. He gives me a real weird look, and then he starts making a noise, a not happy noise, and he walks over to my backpack and starts jamming his snoot, his fucking wet nose snout, right on my backpack, sniffing, just smelling the same smell that everyone was all day. And the police officer looks at me, and he goes, "What you got in that backpack?" I'm like, "Literally just books. I don't know why it smells like that." I'm being straight up honest with the dude. I'm telling him, "Yeah, man, I know it smells weird, but I'm telling you, there's nothing illegal in that backpack. I promise you." So he asked me, he goes, you mind if I take a quick look at it? I was like, go for it, man. He opens up my backpack, starts ripping my things apart, and then he opens my pencil case. Now, I don't even use my pencil case anymore. It's been in that backpack since like middle school. I just use the same backpack all the time. And he opens up my pencil case and dumps all of them out on the floor. And this little baggie falls out of my pencil case onto the floor right in front of this dog and this police officer. And in this little bag is a tiny bit of shake and like a roach, like an already smoked roach, just in this bag. And I'm so confused because never have I ever put fucking weed in my pencil case. So he gives me this like look of just, you're fucked. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I have no idea how that got there. I'm being dead serious. He goes, okay, follow me. And he brings me to the main office. And I sit down with this police officer and this dog and my principal. And my principal goes, Austin, like, why are you being walked in by the police? What's going on? And the police officer holds up the little baggie and goes, I found this in his pencil case in his backpack. And I'm like, yeah, he did. My principal goes, really? Why do you have that in school? I was like, I'm being honest with you. I'm being 100% honest. I don't know where that came from. And I'm telling you, it's not mine. And my principal goes, okay, sure it isn't, Austin. And my principal goes on this like whole 10-minute rant about how I'm not applying myself and I could do better in school. And, smoking pot is for lazy people and I shouldn't be doing that. Then after my principal proceeds to rant to me and give me this whole like speech about how, I'm not applying myself, my principal tells me that they called me up there because they found my school ID in the cafeteria. I dropped it on my way out and they found it on the floor. And that's why they were calling me up there, to give that back to me. It wasn't even for the drug dog search or anything. It was just horrible timing. So yeah, my principal goes on this rant and my principal ends the conversation by saying I have 2 weeks of after school detention and lunch detention. But honestly, that was a relief. I've never been so excited to get detention because that principal could have given me a way worse punishment. Like I could have gotten like 4 days out of school suspension and like my parents could have gotten called. But my principal was nice and went easy on me and only gave me detention, which means they're not going to call my parents. So yeah, I got kind of let off the hook pretty easily, but I was still super confused because I knew that bag wasn't mine. So immediately after I get done talking to my principal and this cop, I leave the principal's office, I go back to class, and I go about my day. And then when the day's over, I'm sitting in detention, and I'm texting every single person I know that smokes that I've hung out with recently. And I'm like, yo, man, they found some bag in my backpack. Like, do you know anything about this? Like, I don't know where it came from. I don't even smoke right now. I know it's not mine. And I'm texting all my friends this stuff. And then I get to my one friend. Let's just call this friend Benji. I text Benji. And I'm like, yo, Benji, I know we were hanging out like 2 weeks ago. I know that you were smoking when we were hanging out. Is there any chance you put a roach in my backpack, specifically in my pencil case? Because my school just found one, and I swear it's not mine. And Benji goes, oh, shit, man, my bad. I was like, what do you mean you're bad? What, did you put that there? He goes, yeah, man, I thought you would want it. Like, you were stressing out that day. Thought you would want it later, so I gave you some free weed. I was like, bro, I don't want your fucking little like 1/4-inch roach. I don't need that, man. Like, I just got fucking searched by a police dog and a cop because they smelled it and found it. And I was like, dude, really? He's like, my bad, man. Like, if I would have known that I was going to go to school with you, I wouldn't have done that. I was like, then why'd you put it in my backpack, Benji? What are you thinking? He's like, I thought that was like your normal backpack, not your school one. I was like, dude, you put it in a pencil case with my books next to it. What do you mean you didn't think it was my school one? He's like, bro, I'll make this up to you, man. Like, what do you need? I'll give you some money, like whatever you want. I'm like, dude, I don't want your money. I just wanted some answers. He's like, yeah, man, it was me. Like, I put it there, but my bad, dude. I thought that it was going to be like a nice, pleasant surprise for you. Like, I didn't know it would get you in trouble. I'm like, listen, man, I get it. You were trying to be nice, but clearly it backfired. So next time, just ask me if I want it rather than just, stuffing it in my backpack and not telling me. He's like, yeah, man, for sure. My bad again. I'm like, all good. So yeah, I got the answer I needed. I found out who did it. I was pissed, don't get me wrong. I was really angry that it happened, but it could have gone way worse. Like, I could have gotten suspended for it, and I didn't, which is good. But yeah, that's pretty much the story time of how a police dog and a police officer searched my backpack and found that, and it was not fun. So yeah, moral of the story is, don't bring any shit like that to school ever. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the story time. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. Feel free to story time.
I don't wanna look back, I don't want it like that. I've been going too fast, all the girls like that. And the fake ones wanna see my pulse go flat. And my day ones know I'ma pace on back.